Hi, I'm Paul Lazarovich, and we're here at Oliver Mill Park in Middleborough, Massachusetts. A couple of weeks later, but we wanted to come back and see how things were going after the Herring Run Festival. We'll be bringing you the first annual, and I do say annual because I get to speak to the folks. They're going to make this an annual event, the first annual Herring Run Festival, and I can tell you it was a great day. Weather-wise and all the activities, the vendors, they put on a super show that I look forward to seeing next year. So we've got Lynn Roker running the cameras. It's going to be a great program. It's Cranberry Country Journal. We'll be right back. Stick around. You're going to like this one. And we're here at the first annual Herring Run Festival, and I'm fortunate enough to have with us, we have David Cavanaugh. David is the Herring Fisheries Commission Chair. Did I say that right, David?
Yes.
Good, thanks. He's going to spend a few moments with us because, like a lot of other folks, he's running around and making sure everything's running well, but he's also making sure that the herring are running well. So the first question I have to ask you, I guess last year there were 850,000 herring. What do you project for this year?
That's correct. Last year we had an estimated 850,000 come through, and hopefully this year will be just as heavy. The population crashed back in 2004, and luckily in our run it's been steadily improving over the last several years, so hopefully that trend will continue.
David, what do you attribute to the success of having more and more herring right now?
Well, it's a combination of good management, cooperation between our group and the state marine fisheries, and an increase in the herring runs across the state.
And I understand that the ban on the herring is not just Middleborough. Is it Atlantic coast wide?
It's now at the entire Atlantic coast. All states are closed for herring catching unless the state can show that they have a sustainable yield with a harvest, and they have to actually prove that through numbers before they'll allow them to open and catch herring again.
If I were to follow up on that and ask you, does it look like we're getting near that point where we may be able to open up again?
We're at the point where we're looking at it. It's not quite close to the point where we're going to open again, but again, in conjunction with state marine fisheries, there's 2 or 3 ones that have petitioned to reopen, so they have to look at it and make sure the numbers work.
Well, I understand there are 3 areas, 3 ladders in the Middleborough area. We're behind us is one, Oliver Mill Park. Which one has the bigger counts?
Well, actually, on the entire Taunton River, our herring swim 23 miles between Narragansett Bay up the Taunton River and the Nemasket into the Assawampsett Pond spawning grounds, which is a 23-mile run. The only 3 obstructions in that entire area are all in Middleborough. Oliver Mill Park, the Thomas Park at Wareham Street has a run to get around the Wareham Street Dam, and there's a ladder at the Assawampsett Dam itself. Those are the only 3 obstructions of an entire run.
It seems like the one at Wareham Street is the one that's very popular with the kids.
It is, yeah. It's more concentrated, so you can see them swimming through there a little bit easier. But in reality, they have to come through Oliver Mill Park, then through Wareham Street, and then up into the pond itself.
And to get back to the question, is there, of the 3, is there one that sees more than others?
Well, they all pass through all 3 runs, so as I say, Wareham Street, it might be a little easier to look at there because they're a little more concentrated. But Oliver Mill Park is a good place to see them too.
Just before, I know you mentioned it briefly, but some people are probably curious about, what is this run? It's an amazing run if you think about it. Amazing journey, 23 miles. Just give us a little bit of details on that, if you will.
Well, the fish spend the year out through the North Atlantic, and during the springtime, the temperatures trigger them to queue up into the bays, and again, our fish run up through Narragansett Bay, up through the Taunton River and the Nemasket River, where they spawn up in the Assawampsett Pond complex throughout the whole area. Then the adults will turn around and head back to sea, and when the eggs hatch, the fry, the small fish, will live up in the pond for 2 or 3 months, and they'll make their way down to the sea during the fall and early winter. They'll live out at sea for about 2 or 3 years and then make their first spawning run. Now, herring are not like western salmon. Some people think the herring will spawn and then die. That's not true. They'll run 4, 5, 6 years in a row until something eats them. The herring are actually the bottom of the food chain. So just about everything else that swims or flies or has fur will eat the herring.
Now, I also know that in the past and even now people like herring in terms of
for bait. What are some other purposes and things that the herring are used for?
Well, the herring, the main purpose of them is that they're a commercial food fish for the other fish that are commercially fished. They're the bottom of the food chain that everything else eats. So when the population crashed, that was the big concern, was that the main food source was crashing, which could trigger a chain reaction through the entire system. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be happening here, but there are some runs that aren't recovering as well.
Well, if you see Dave Cavanaugh, folks, give him a pat on the back and the rest of the members of the Middleborough Lakeville Herring Run Committee, because they've done a great job to ensure that we have a festival like this and we can see more and more of the herring back here in action. So, David, tell me a little bit about the warden, your role as a warden, and what do the wardens do? Because people will see them and not quite sure.
Well, the Herring Fishery Commission consists of 7 fish wardens, which are appointed by the Boards of Selectmen. Our broad mandate is to enforce and administer the herring catching regulations when herring catching is allowed, public education about herring, and management and maintenance of the herring habitat. And part of that, we love having the people come down and see the herring. We love talking to them.
Before you go, what's the one question that you get asked all the time about the herring?
Where they come from, how hard it is for them to swim up, and when are they going to reopen it for catching?
Well, hopefully we'll know that soon. David, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We're going to continue with Cranberry Country Journal here at the very first annual Herring Run Festival in Middleborough, Massachusetts. We'll be right back. We're back. I've got Lynn Rocca, LA, Rocha folks, and she's running the camera. And we're bringing you a very special edition of Cranberry Country Journal. We're here at Oliver Mill Park, and we're celebrating the first annual Herring Run Festival. There are over 50 local vendors. There'll be some music, some good food and eating here, and also some vendors that'll be showing their wares and members of the commission. We're here on this beautiful Saturday morning, and we're going to take you around and speak to some of the folks that made this event possible. So stick around. Cranberry Country Journal comes to you from the road here at Oliver Mill Park. We'll be right back. Well, finally caught up with the folks. She's been very busy the last couple of days, actually the last couple of months. But we're speaking with Alani Dalpy. You may know her as one of the select women in town. But today, more importantly, she is the chairman of the Herring Lakeville, Friends of the Herring and Lakeville Run, and she's here in a group of responsible for putting on this great event. First question, Alani, let me ask you out of the box. No rain. How'd you do it?
I called in some favors upstairs.
You must have some
a lot of praying.
You must have some great connections up there. So you've got to be pleased with this turnout, both from the participants and the people coming.
You know, I came down this morning at around 7 o'clock. I came driving down to Mascot, and I looked over, and the tents were starting to go up, and my heart it skipped a beat, because it was like, oh my God, this makes it real. It's wonderful.
And it's just truly great involvement in the community. I know there are a number of individuals and committees that have been helping out with this. How about some folks in particular, or committees you'd like to make note of?
Of course, our committee, and on it, Sherry Hartland-Neely, who's handled our PR, incredible. Nikki Shumway, who put together all of the brochures. Actually, they're for the whole town for the whole year. All of her photography and she set everything up and had it printed. I mean, gorgeous. Sherry Swindle, who is actually an events coordinator, and she's responsible for everybody's space down here and who goes where. I can keep going on. We're just very blessed. Karen Blair has brought her expertise with the Blues Festival and running the musical numbers, and everyone's volunteered. I mean, musicians in the community, everyone has just stepped up. It's phenomenal.
It's truly a commitment on behalf of the community. This is the first annual, should I ask you?
Oh yeah, you bet, you bet. We're out of the gate now. There's no stopping us.
You're involved in so much with the perception and the image of Middleborough and the Cranberry Country area. This community offers so much. Is that what got you interested in promoting this area?
Yeah. I'm actually from the Cape, lived in New York City where I met my husband for many years, moved back to Massachusetts. We looked at 104 properties, and when we came to Middleborough, we fell in love. I mean, it has so much to offer. It just needs to be marketed. And we've been lucky enough. I've been working with the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism, and we received a $25,000 grant to market. So the sign in back of me is a start. The brochures that you'll see are there. There's going to be a brand new website that's international with icons. So if you don't speak English even, because in Massachusetts, tourism is the second largest industry. We should have a piece of that. And our new slogan, all roads lead to Middleborough. They absolutely do. So, yeah.
I am delighted, thrilled to hear you say that, because our neighbors of Plymouth always get all the attention.
Well, you know, Plymouth, we're collaborating a lot with Plymouth. They know how to do it.
Yeah,
They've been doing, you know, decades ago, they got a plan, they got together, and they learned how to do it. And I'm perfectly willing to follow their example and learn from them. Absolutely.
Well, you're doing it well. We're doing it without a rock or a boat either, so.
Right. And I just wanted to put a thank you out to the auxiliary police. They've been phenomenal. They came forth and they're donating their time, and they're here, 3 of them at a time. They were last night at the town hall. We had the great opening event, and they're really great.
And the restaurants participating?
Oh yes, all throughout the town. That's another thing. You know, this is a perfect mechanism to get people to come and see this herring run, the largest one on the East Coast, I've heard, with almost 1 million fish. But then we can branch out into the town. There are many participating restaurants that are offering herring fish specials. Not herring, it's a fish special, but not herring. You can't do that.
Not this year. Right?
No. And tonight, as well as Brianna Grace and the Tuesday Night Jazz Band, there will be a magic show for the kids by Adam Bond.
The Great Bondini.
The Great Bondini will be there at 7. He gives a really great show, and again, donating their time. They're wonderful.
Truly community effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, I cannot tell you the calls, the emails, the everything I get, because I make myself available. You can email me at the town's website to the selectmen anytime, and I get emails every day from probably a half a dozen people. What can I do? How can I help? It's just really what we need.
So can you give us a little hint what we might be seeing in the future in terms of activities and events like this?
Well, yeah, we want to do this, of course, every year. We're also planning a fall festival. The KOA is going to be here year-round now. And we want to have a haunted kind of from cabin to cabin forest with a jack-o'-lantern competition, so we'll have a big festival in the fall as well. The ghost tours are starting, and I would like to incorporate our town hall, because we all know it's officially haunted. And actually, we had a lot of interest last night. People were asking about it. So, yeah, we're going to expand.
You're putting us on the map.
Yeah, we are on the map. Actually, I just got a map from southeastern Massachusetts, and they sent it to me, and we were on it. Last time when I looked, we weren't. So.
Well, speaking with the Lanny Dalpy folks, again in town, very well known as kind of a hardworking select woman, but today she is making sure this thing is running smoothly along with their community effort and the volunteers. Just a perfect day, Lanny. I wish you the best.
I know. I couldn't ask for better. Absolutely phenomenal.
Just lastly, if someone's watching this, they may be interested in maybe joining the group, or if they have just an idea for an activity, how do they contact you?
They can go to, we're on Facebook and Twitter, www.facebook.com/herringfriends, and it's the same on Twitter, www.twitter.com, and then /herringfriends, and they can get information on how to get in touch with us. If you can't get through that, go to the town website, go to the selectmen department, email me directly. I will get back to you.
And one last thing, she didn't bring it up, folks, but I'm going to bring it up. Tomorrow we'll have the Leilani Zingers. What are the Leilani Zingers?
Well, Leilani Zingers are today, actually. They're at 1 o'clock. This is a group, I teach voice and piano, and a group of singers, and they're really lighthearted, great girls. They named themselves. They didn't want to be singers, they're zingers. And they do all kinds of performances everywhere. They did Crazy Days last year. They did the tree lighting at Christmas. They did the Music Guild last week, and they're going to be singing here. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be singing with Eric Lindgren at the piano at the library.
Again, thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck of all the other activities we'll be seeing in the Middleborough area.
Thank you. Come on down. We're here. Plenty to do.
We're going to continue with Cranberry Country Journal as we finish up here at the first annual, and that is the first annual Herring Run Festival here in the middle of Cranberry Country. So stick around. We'll be right back. We're back with Cranberry Country Journal, and certainly a lot of the people that make this possible are volunteers, and we're here with one of the volunteer groups. We have Pack 96, we have Pack Master, I hope I'm saying that right, Paul Nickerson, we have Will, Jack, Sam, and we have Cameron and Kevin from Troop 96, if I said that correctly.
That is correct.
So what do you have the guys doing today?
Well, they've been asked to come in and just help out as volunteers at the gate and greeters. They're trying to keep the folks flowing into the facility and let them know what activities are going on for the day.
And well, just tell us a little bit about the Cub life in general. You know, someone might be watching and say, "Gee, I've got a son that might be interested."
Sure. Cub Scouts begin with first grade, and they go right up for the next 4 years. And they get to develop skills with families. It's a very family-oriented organization. We have 4 packs here in town. We also have 3 troops in town, and 4 troops in town. And the 4 troops are where the boys go after they've gotten away from parents a little bit.
Yep.
So at 10 and a half, they can go into Boy Scouting and spend the next 8 years there and working their way towards Eagle, which is the primary goal for these boys. Service is a huge part of everything that Scouting is about, and so being here today is important.
And this is a fun type of service too.
This is a good one. They get to see and do a lot while they're helping out the community.
And I have to ask one of the guys here, Cub Scouts, what's the best part about being a Cub Scout? Who'd like to answer that? Will, Jack, or Sam? I think Jack is getting pointed to. So Jack, what's the funnest part about being a Cub Scout?
Making a car the find the
Did you help build your car?
Music and the most variety.
And did you race it?
Easy 99.1.
How did you do?
Good morning to you. Beautiful Saturday. It's
First, second, or
27
third
past
place?
10. And this is Chris Rogers. One of the things we do Saturday
The wheel
nights
stayed on it.
here at the radio station.
So the wheel stayed on it, okay. I also want to talk to Cameron for a minute too. You've gone through the Cub Scouts.
It goes back to the 70s,
Eventually you see possibly going to Eagle Scouts, which is tell us about that.
in a very long
it's really
time.
cool.
And
Like,
tonight,
I'm
the
working on my
focus,
Eagle
the
project right
theme
now.
of
We're
the show,
gonna
so to speak, will be
just get
the year
people
1981.
to donate food for
Dave
people who
Dufell and Rick Count us on demand tonight at 7 right here
Very
at
noble of
today's
you, Cameron. I think
1899.1.
maybe folks don't realize, but Eagle Scouts are a very select group, and you're part of a very, very select group. So do you look for volunteers? How can people volunteer to help Cameron if they want to be part of it?
In a reader survey for 13 years in a row. Located right on the waterfront in Plymouth, the Lobster Hut is consistently good. The finest fish, lobster, clams,
Hey, before we say
scallops,
goodbye, Paul, how about if someone is
just the
interested
way you
in
like
having
it.
their
And
son
the
join
Lobster Hut
the
uses only 100%
Well, the
vegetable
best
oil
thing that
for
people
good
can do
health.
is go to myscouting.org, right online, and put in your zip code, and they'll be able to send you to a pack that way. So again, we have a lot of organizations here in town, but you can sign up right online with, again, either Boy Scouts of America or myscouting.org.
Head over to that website, folks, and maybe next year your son's car will be racing against Jack in the Pinewood Derby. We're going to continue with Cranberry Country Journal, walk around the grounds a bit, and take in more of the sights and sounds and activities of the first annual Herring Run Festival. We'll be right back.
New England's largest carpet.
As we continue with Cranberry Country Journal, that would stop in and speak to one of the many vendors that are here today, and just the beauty of some of your designs here caught Lynn, our camera woman's attention. So we have to my right, we have Edward and Gail Smith. They are the owners, the proprietors of Little Smith Arts, and I have to ask you first the name, Gail.
Well, my maiden name is Little.
Oh.
Gail Little Smith.
Oh,
So he's Smith, so we combined the name.
darn it, I hope you're going to tell me that just because you make little designs and sell
No,
corn.
no, not as simple as that, or involved as that. Sure.
Sometimes simple is better, but these designs sure aren't simple. Tell us about some of the beautiful jewelry and items that you have here.
Okay. My husband and I started metalsmithing about 2 years ago, and that's when we started this jewelry. And we work in copper and sterling silver and some brass, and it's very organic. That's what I would call. It's very organic work.
Do you have a favorite to work with copper and some other items, or?
Well, my personal favorite is I'm into the forming aspect
Okay.
of this. I like to use a technique called fold forming.
Tell me about it.
It's basically you put texture onto a piece of metal, you fold it into a shape, you cut it into the design that you want it to be, and unfold it. It makes for a very rigid, very permanent item.
But it sounds time-consuming. I mean, what type of effort and time goes into that?
It can be time consuming. But you have to enjoy doing it. That's the primary thing.
Folks, it's the first time I've met the Smiths, but I'm getting a sense that they're individuals of great patience too. I guess you have to be with this.
You do have to be patient.
How about some of the inspirations for the designs?
They come from nature a lot. I'm connected to the earth, I feel, and most of the work is what I feel from nature.
And do you have a favorite, Gail, that you like particularly making or designing or working with your husband?
I like the large pieces. I have one of them on, and I like doing the large pieces.
Gail, should tell us about the item we're seeing here. Is that a copper?
It's copper. The stone is a jasper. And my husband talked about fold forming. The butterfly is fold formed on there. So the fold forming gives things dimension, and that's what we like, is to build. We don't like the flat form. We want to build and get some dimension to them.
Good. I have to describe you both as artists then. I mean, that's what you're creating is art.
Well, we met in 1977 at the Brockton Art Club where we both worked. And at the time I was a weaver, and kind of wore my joints out doing that over the years, and have switched to the glass and the jewelry and the wood. So.
Do you have a favorite, Gail? I know you say you have the larger pieces, but is there one that sort of you hate to part with? Okay. Can someone get a shot of that? It's right. We'll have Gail and Edward move over back there. And again, describe that. I know it's a copper base, and we see the folded art in there from your husband.
Right. It's fold formed. It has a druzy crystal in the middle. That's a quartz crystal that forms in a bubble underneath a harder shell. And the leaves were fold formed as well. That's about it. We form the metal to a nice shape that we want it, and then go in afterwards and add whatever we want to.
Folks, you have to really see the intricacies involved in the time, and she's saying that's just about it, but there's a lot more to it, obviously. So, just before we leave, a reminder, we're speaking with Gail and Edward Smith. They're the Little Smith Arts, and I'm going to let Gail give the website and also tell you how they spell Smith, which is important if you want to contact them. So, on the web, where can we see some of your work or contact you?
You can see it on Etsy, Little Smith Arts. I also have a website that we're building right now. So the site name is littlesmitharts.com, and shortly, within a couple of weeks, we should have everything back up.
Oh, good. And that's Smith's S-M-Y?
S-M-Y-T-H.
Yeah, Little Smith Arts. Folks, Gail and Edward Smith, and please go to their website when they get it up and running. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. We're going to continue and speak to some of the folks and capture the sights and sounds as Cranberry Country Journal continues. Be right back. We're back with Cranberry Country Journal at the very first annual Herring Run Festival here at Oliver Mill Park. And truly what makes this event special, the volunteers like this volunteer I have with me today. This is a face and a name that's readily known in the Cranberry Country area. I know her as Karen Blair, but you may know her as the editor and publisher of Freebird Times and Horse Talk. And what's the third publication?
Oh, the Cambridge Graphic. And we have a newest one. It's called the Fallen Military News.
Well, I'm lucky I'm getting a hold of her because she never sits still, folks. In fact, her husband Artie, if you're watching this is what your wife looks like. So,
yeah, hi.
Karen, you're a volunteer. You're also a member of the committee for this first festival.
I am.
Yeah, what went into planning this?
Everything. And actually, a lot of community effort. The Herring Festival being the first down here. As you can see, it's very successful, and hopefully will continue on.
Thank you,
Tell me a little about the group. What are some of the activities that are being planned for the festival?
Well, of course, I'm going to be doing the music, but that is the most important part. Other than the vendors, I don't want to say that. The music that will go on here today, we have this taunt here, we have this Middleborough, we have some PWG and Badger. He will be putting on some demonstrations. Of course, we have our herring running. Lots of food, real good food. Again, we have music here. We also have music at the town hall tonight. And I have your tickets if anybody's watching this. It'll probably be later, but maybe live.
Boston's home for the most music and the most variety. We are today's Easy 99.1.
Oh, yes, she is. Very
Weekday
good.
afternoons at 3, Scott Gibbons has our
We have
3
the great Bon
at
Dini
3.
coming to
A different theme every afternoon, and if you can figure out what it is,
The great Bon Dini.
you can win yourself a
Oh, it's
$25 gift
wonderful.
card.
I couldn't ask for a better magic act.
Retail
So he'll be
furniture and
here and all
design
day
centers
tomorrow,
at
Sunday.
2 Main Street and Colony Place in Plymouth.
Festivities going on.
3 at 3,
And at the
weekday
library,
afternoons with Scott
12:30,
Gibbons, right here at today's
and
Easy
we'll have the signers,
99.1.
have Lonnie play. That will be also doing voice along with Eric Lindgren. He'll be there as well. So please come down.
Well, what's a nice part is you get a lot of local talent. You mentioned Adam, the musician, and Eric Lindgren, very talented, and also Ronnie. First of all, did you hear her sing? With the Lolly singers.
He also has the singer dances here as well today. They're at 1 o'clock, so that's going to be a plus too.
And for folks, if you want to catch a star on the rise, Brianna.
Brianna Grace is on her way to Nashville.
Yeah, so you can say you saw her when, and right here at the festival.
Oh, can I plug something? You need to come to the New England Blues Festival and see Brianna's act with the Ricky Band on August 16th at the Middleborough Outlet Lodge. Out back, we're having a chicken barbecue.
That's another festival that you have to see, folks, because Karen really puts that on. Karen, you certainly picked a great day.
Well, I thank you both for coming down here.
It's great to see you. That was Karen Blair. We caught her for a few moments, folks. Very rarely do you get her there, but we had a chance to speak to Karen, one of the volunteers, and that's what makes this event very, very special. We're going to continue with more of the first annual Herring Festival here at Oliver Mill Park in Middleborough. The Cranberry Country Journal continues once again. We'll be right back. I'm delighted to have with us Devin Williams, Miss Fall River, and back just a few moments ago we heard some great musical selections. First of all, what a great voice.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
I have to ask you first, as far as Miss Fall River, I guess, is the Miss Massachusetts pageant, is that this June?
Yes, yes. The 75th anniversary pageant, actually, so it will be a big year for the scholarship program, and I'm excited to be part of it.
There's been a lot of work going into being Miss Fall River and preparing for the pageant. What does that involve? I know you're juggling school and other activities.
Yeah, it's definitely a full-time job. This is a position that I lobbied for in my interview, which is actually worth 25% of your score when you're competing. So I am preparing mentally and physically. I work out at the Middleborough Y. They've actually been really great at helping me prepare for the physical aspect of competition. And in addition to that, I work interview prep. I'm constantly making public appearances, and any chance that I can sing at events like this is perfect preparation for the pageant.
And when do you sleep?
Rarely.
So folks, if that's in the Middleborough Y, you think you're having the future Miss Massachusetts working out inside of this. We hope so.
It's true. Thank you.
So I know the mainstay of being in the pageant is having a platform. What's your platform?
My platform is Rock the Vote, which is a national nonprofit organization committed to voter education and registration, getting people to the polls, which is really important to me.
What sparked your interest in that?
I've always been interested in politics. Actually, when I was younger, little, probably around 7 or 8, I told my parents I needed to start a savings account for my first political campaign. They were definitely taken aback, but that has kind of chartered the course for the way my life has gone. I completed my undergraduate degree in political science with a double minor in international relations and journalism, and now I'm luckily getting a full scholarship to Bridgewater State for my master's program in public administration.
It's fantastic. I know some people may see a pageant, they may equate it with the old beauty pageant. There's so much more. I mean, it's not just that. Sometimes all the components of it. You mentioned the scholarship and having a platform.
Yeah, absolutely. This season alone, after competing in just 2 pageants, I raised over $3,000 that's going directly to my student loans. So that's phenomenal. And like I said earlier, interview is 25% of your score. You also have to submit your transcripts. Talent is 35% of your score. That's weighted most heavily. And then the other on-stage components are swimsuit, evening wear, and on-stage question, which also weigh heavily to the judge's final decision. So scholastic importance is something that's huge to me, and that's why I started competing actually 10 years ago in 2004. So it's been a lifelong career that I've enjoyed, and it's helped me pay for I've paid $50,000 in scholarships since I started competing.
That's fantastic. So you started years ago. So what would you do to encourage if there's a young little girl out there that wants to get involved in your pageant? So what would you recommend?
I I would say, well, first of all, you need to really be interested in what the Miss America program is all about. And actually, the crown stands for something symbolic. The 4 points of the crown stand for scholarship, style, success, and service. And those are all things that I have loved from a very young age. I was volunteering at the Soul Homestead. I was working with Lorna Brunel at the Brentwood School of Performing Arts, and I just realized that this was the perfect culmination to put all of my passions to use and pay for school.
Before we let you go, politics in the future?
Hopefully. So I still have that campaign fund ready if anybody's interested in donating.
That's great. We wish you luck. Folks, we're speaking with Devin Williams, Miss Fall River, and soon to be a contestant in Miss Massachusetts in June. When and where will that take place?
That will be June 27th and 29th at the Hanover Theater in Worcester, the heart of the Commonwealth.
Okay, so Cranberry Country area folks, Fall River folks, get out there and support Devin. We wish you luck, and boy, if just on singing alone, you'd win.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. We'll continue with Cranberry Country Journal right after this, as we're coming to you from the Herring Run Festival, the very first annual. We'll be right back. And I'd be amiss, folks, if we didn't get a chance to speak to Miss Middleborough. We're speaking with Kara Kopaz just a few moments ago. She really entertained the audience with some great singing, including one of my favorite Disney tunes. Maybe we'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, congratulations on being honored as Miss Middleborough.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, I've got to ask right off the bat, because just before we started filming this, I asked Kara if she was in school, and she's at MIT, folks, and I'm not going to try to tell you what her major is, but would you explain and tell us what it is?
Sure. So my major is brain and cognitive sciences. It's a mix between neuroscience and psychology and psychiatry and everything that really prepares me for my future going into med school.
To work as a psychiatrist?
Hopefully. That's the plan right now. I want to work with children, so I'm thinking of pediatric psychiatry.
That's very well. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I asked Devin, I've asked other folks, how do you put this all in? School, pageantry, traveling?
Well, I love being busy. If I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself, so I love being completely scheduled and every hour is filled.
And I know all the contestants, you'll be in the pageant in June, am I correct?
Yep, it's June 27th to the 29th.
And what's the platform for you?
My platform is CASA for Children. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. And basically, you get these citizen volunteers that volunteer their time to get matched up with a child that's going through the court system and really speaks on behalf of the child and make sure the child gets the needs that he or she needs.
What sparked your interest in having that as your platform?
Well, I'm a part of my sorority Kappa Alpha Theta at MIT, and this is our philanthropy, CASA. So I got involved through my sorority, and then the Miss America organization gave me an opportunity to speak on behalf of it.
Can I take you back to recall one of the first pageants you were involved in?
Yes, the first pageant was probably around 11 years old. I was a fish out of water. A herring out of water. But it was such a growing experience. I learned public speaking skills, interview skills, and really just confidence that makes me who I am today.
It's, again, I spoke to Devin, I've spoken to other contestants in the past. There's a lot that goes on in this pageant in terms of how you judge. Talk about some of those categories.
Yeah, so we have evening wear, swimsuit, personal interview, onstage question, and talent. My favorite is talent. I love to sing. I love to perform.
Great singer.
Thank you. My least favorite is obviously swimsuit, but you got to do what you got to do. But it's fun. I love the girls. I love competing.
Did you build a camaraderie with all the girls you compete with?
You really do. All the stereotypes are completely debunked within the Miss America organization, and the girls are really my sisters, and I love hanging out with them. They help me put on my my fake eyelashes, and help me with everything.
It's not the miscongeniality crowd that we saw in the movies.
No, not at all. We all love each other.
Well, if you're an indication of being an MIT student, then indeed we're all in good hands. Just before we leave, any fundraisers or activities, or folks wanting to support you in running for Miss Massachusetts? Anyway, do you have a website or someplace you can contact you?
Yes, so we have a Facebook page, which is Miss Middleborough, Miss Lakeville, and Miss Plymouth County.
Okay.
I also am fundraising for the Children's Miracle Network, which goes back to the children, which is what's important. So I have a page for that. If you just Google Kara Kopaz Children's Miracle Network, anything really helps.
And just spell Kopaz for the folks.
Sure, Kopaz is K-O-P-A-Z as in cat, Z as in zebra.
Eloquently spoken. Thank you very much. I wish you luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
We're going to continue with Cranberry Country Journal. We had a great opportunity to speak with Kara Kopaz and also Devin Williams, folks. Two contestants in the June Miss Massachusetts pageant. We wish you both luck. We'll be right back with Cranberry Country Journal. Stick around. Well, I've had a chance to speak to some of the vendors and the volunteers, and we spoke to Miss Fall River and Miss Middleborough, but the biggest star today that I needed to interview, I'm speaking with Ella Morrison, and if you're in the Middleborough area, you can't help but know the wonderful job Ella's been doing raising some money. So, and she's all of 8 years old, and she's very nicely said, I'll speak to you for a couple of minutes, but Ella, you raising some money, where does all this money go? Those are great causes. What got you started in raising that money? And how old are they? Are they your age?
Jesse was 7 and Dylan's 5.
And they must be real appreciative of what you're doing for them. It's got to make you feel good. How does that make you feel, raising money? Because you're doing something really nice for the community and your friends too. How does that make you feel? Yeah. Now, I guess I understood that Ella's Lemonade, it's good by the way, because I had a cup and so did Lynn, our camerawoman. I understand you can't tell me the ingredients, it's secret. I wouldn't want you to break that, but how come you sold lemonade? Just a good idea? Yeah. Do you drink a lot of your own lemonade? No, she says she does drink a lot of own lemonade. And you've raised a lot of money. How much money have you raised? I want you to say that again, because that's a lot of money. How much? $10,000, folks. Ella Morrison, all of 8 years old, the second grader at the Berkman School. And you'll see her stand throughout the Middleborough area. Now, you're here today. Where are we going to see you again? Where can we find your stand all the rest of the summer, perhaps? Will it be in town? Yeah? Okay. So we just have to look for the big sign? Okay. Yeah. And also, if you read the Middleborough Gazette and the local papers, you'll learn more about the wonderful job that Ella's doing, folks, with her lemonade. Now, I understand you've got some other things for sale here, too. Can you tell me what it is that we can buy besides the lemonade? And 100% of the proceeds, they go to cancer research. That's a great cause. You're getting some help from your family members, too? Yep. Mom and dad or brothers and sisters? Yeah. What's the, one last question, I'll let you go. What's the funnest part about doing this and raising the money? It's a lot of work, but it's got to be fun, too. I know, putting you on the spot. There's got to be something that's fun. Is it meeting all the people? Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a wonderful thing, Ella, and I wish you luck. Congratulations. I'll be looking for your stand this summer, okay? Folks, we're speaking with Ella Morrison, all of 8 years old, second grader at the Berkman School, raising some money for a great cause, and you're going to see her all summer long in Middleborough. And make sure you stop and have some, because it's good lemonade. So, Ella, thank you. We'll be back with more Cranberry Country Journal after this. Welcome back to Cranberry Country Journal, and we're speaking with Allison Bowden. She is an aquatic ecologist with Nature Conservancy, and first of all, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I got to ask you right off the bat, you folks is a national organization, correct?
We are national. We have programs in 50 states. We're also in 34 countries around the world.
So let's bring you to Middleborough. What's the Middleborough connection?
We own some property here in Middleborough. We do a lot of land protection to try to keep land open for future generations. And we're working a lot in the Taunton River watershed more broadly, removing dams. And I actually work coastwide on river herring, trying to make sure they get home safely to Middleborough.
I guess you folks are doing a good job because last year we had 300,000 was the count. Are we going to see a higher number this year?
Fingers crossed. We're going to see the numbers keep going up and up. This is a fantastic run. It's really exciting to see them come home.
Is this one of the largest runs in the state, or is it the largest run in the state?
This is the largest run in Massachusetts. It's also one of the largest in New England. You would have to drive to Mid-Coast, Maine to find more fish.
And what's been done to bring the herring back?
There's been a lot of work. The local Middleborough Lakefront Herring Commission has done an incredible job, and their volunteers are out here every single day making sure that the fish are safe, that the fishways are managed, so that's really important. And there's a lot of people working coastwide on managing the fisheries making sure that they get back safely from the ocean.
That 23-mile journey will be very treacherous from the bend to the Cotton River.
They're coming actually from offshore. They spend the winter out in the ocean, and then they come up through Narragansett Bay, all the way up to Cotton River. They have a long journey.
I can't even drive 23 miles without getting tired, so you I've got to ask you, in terms of if folks want to learn more about the Nature Conservancy, particularly the involvement in Middleborough, is there a website or an address folks can contact?
So our main website is nature.org. If you want to know more about our river herring work, it's nature.org, MA River Herring.
We're speaking with Allison Bowden, she's an aquatic ecologist with the Nature Conservancy, and do you have a particular area that's your favorite?
A particular area of the river?
No, in terms of working in your job.
This fish run is one of my favorite places. I love to paddle this river. I'm from near here, even though I work everywhere. This is home.
It's nice to hear. It's got that whole range to it, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was Allison Bowden, aquatic ecologist. Say that fast 2 times with Nature Conservancy. Thanks for being on the program. And we're going to continue with Cranberry Country Journal, capture more of the sights and the sounds. Well, what really makes the festival truly nice and truly local, folks? We have folks like Dean Rance, who is the Rock Village Forge, and if you've been around some of the festivals and activities in Middleborough, you may have seen at the Soul Homestead and also various activities downtown. But Dean, tell us a little bit what we're seeing here.
Well, this is blacksmithing, forging, whatever you like to call it, ironworking, and right now I'm heating up a piece of metal at the fire. It's a coal forge, soft coal. The blower blows air into it, heats it up to working temperature.
Yeah, how hot does that have to get for you to work with the metals?
Oh, about 1,500 degrees at least.
That's hot to you.
Yeah, it'll be going hotter though. It's nice and orange hot.
And any particular type of coal that you use?
It's called soft coal. It's a bituminous coal comes out of the ground.
Yep.
Some people use charcoal, actually, wood charcoal. You can actually get like the cowboy, those briquettes that they make, cowboy coal, I guess. I've used it once or twice.
So let's watch what you're going to be doing here.
Forging this out. Let me know if you get bored.
Only to let us know when you get tired.
Yeah, you know. This is what I do. You know?
So you're shaping the metal at that point?
I'm drawing it out. It's going to be hopefully a nail. Drawing it out to a point, and then I'm going to put a head on it.
Okay.
Like a nail head.
And obviously you're getting it hot again so you can shape it further?
Yeah, I'm a little slow at it, but I'll get it done.
How long have you been doing this?
All day.
And how about as far as your career?
25, 30 years off and on. You know, it started out as a hobby. Yeah, you need about 1,000 of these to build a house. So you got your work cut out for me, huh?
So you're not building many houses, right?
Some of these. Actually, the Tremont Nail Factory in Wareham. It's around 1800, maybe a little early. Then they invented a machine to cut the nails out. And that sort of sped things up. But this is how they used to do it from then, you know, ancient times to then.
So it's certainly a lost art.
Somewhat.
And how can folks get a hold of you if they're interested in having you do some specialized work?
I'm at Rock Village Forge.
Rock Village Forge, yep.
At Weebly.com. Weebly.com.
Okay, is that W-E-B-L-I?
W-E-B-L-E-Y.
Okay.
You should know that, right?
How about a phone number? Is there where you can reach you, Dean?
Yeah, 508-923-9939.
The show's only a half an hour, so we won't be able to stay with you much longer. But I promise the folks that maybe we can come back and get a shot of the finished nail.
Let me see if I can finish it. Get my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
There
That
it
is.
From that piece of metal.
Good enough for government work.
To a mail. Very nice, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day.
You too.
We'll be back with a little bit more Cranberry Country Journal. I'm delighted to have with us right now, we have Dan Badger, the director, and Robert Gove, a volunteer with BWG. And before I even tell you what that is, I'm going to have Dan, the director, tell us what BWG stands for and what do you do?
Thank you. Yeah, Badger Wilderness Guides. My name is Dan Badger. I'm the director and founder of it. We are an outdoor and experiential education training center focused on both veteran wellness programs, youth leadership programs, and corporate team building.
Let's talk about some of the local work. I know it's the Nemasket Stewardship Project. Tell us about that, Dan.
The Nemasket River Stewardship Project. It's in its second year. Most of our initiatives that are local, the goal is to get volunteers together to help out with the project, but also to educate and fundraise for the education of those participants, so eventually that they can take over the program and it's then gifted back to the community.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of sport gear surrounding me, particularly water type of activities. What are some of those activities? Because I know you also lead folks on guides.
I do. Mostly now I've been a guide since, registered Maine guide since '99. But I've also been a mountaineering guide in the Himalayas and the Andes since the mid-'90s. We're now using that as a tool for facilitating wellness programs for veterans. For example, the Frozen Chosen is a recreational program for veterans up north. And but we also have family-friendly and warm weather activities for kids as well.
Let's talk to our volunteer folks. We have Robert Gove, who's a volunteer. How long have you been a volunteer, Robert?
About just over a year.
What are some of the fun things as a volunteer you get to do? I won't ask you about all the grunt work you have to do.
Just helping, with set up these shops to really make awareness for, our project and our direction. And I'm a huge fan of outdoors. I love the wilderness. I love all that. So it's a wonderful thing for me.
Yeah. And how long have you been a volunteer?
Less than a year.
A little less than a year. Great. Yeah. If folks are interested in learning more about BWG and maybe joining you for up in Maine or even something locally, how do they do that?
That's okay. You just go to badgerbasecamp.com or badgerwildernessguides.org. We have something free to the public every 6 weeks, so get on the mailing list and give me your wish list.
Yeah, great. All right. Folks, again, we're speaking with Dan Badger, the director, and Robert Gove, who's nice enough to spend a few moments with us here at the first annual Herring Run Festival. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Well, that concludes this issue of Cranberry Country Journal. We're still here at the Oliver Mill Park, and I hope that you'll come back next year to see the annual Herring Run Festival. It was a great day. Hey, before we say goodbye, special thanks to L.A. Rocha. That's Lynn Rocha, but we call her L.A. because she has that Hollywood style when it comes to filming. And also special thanks to Karen Foy and all the crew at MCCAM. And I said that right this time. So they do a super job, and thanks to them, this program is being seen right in your living room today. In the meantime, I'm Paul Lazarovich. Thanks for joining us. This is Cranberry Country Journal. We're on the road again. If you have an idea, a suggestion for guest, a topic, you can reach me two ways. You can use the good old-fashioned U.S. mail. It's Cranberry Country Journal, Post Office Box 1235, Middleborough, Mass. 02346. Or email cranberrycountry@hotmail.com. We take things a little bit easy here, so I might take a week or so to get back to you, but I'm sure that I will. In the meantime, keep that Cranberry Country spirit in your heart. I'll see you later on. Thanks for joining us.